Salam sejahtera, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome to Virtual InvestSmart Fest 2020. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 7th installment of the InvestSmart Fest. And for the very first time, it is held virtually over the next 3 days. I hope the virtual event this year will provide the opportunity for more Malaysians from near and far to be able to participate in this event. And in fact, I'm told that 40% of the registrants for this year's InvestSmart Fest are in fact from outside the Klang Valley. This year's InvestSmart Fest with the theme Silap Labo, Duit Lebo is also held in support of Financial Education Network, FEN's inaugural Financial Literacy Month 2020 throughout October. We have in store for you various initiatives and programs which have been organized by FEN members to raise the level of financing and investment literacy among Malaysians. This year's SC's InvestSmart continued to participate in various virtual investor education events and seminars in collaboration with industry groups including FIM and Financial Planning Association. Ladies and gentlemen, today we stand at the brink of a prolonged recovery from the COVID pandemic. Needless to say, many Malaysians are going through challenging times with businesses continuing to be affected while job losses in Malaysia has increased by 42% in the first quarter this year due to this pandemic. A survey conducted by the Credit Counselling and Debt Management Agency or AKBK last year found that only 24% of Malaysians can survive up to 3 months with their savings. For the self-employed, more than 71% have sufficient savings of only 1 month. Against this backdrop, I would like to focus my address this morning on 2 key issues. First, the importance of achieving financial well-being, and second, the need to suppress the rapid increase of scams. I'm not sure how many of you actually remember the story of the ant and the grasshopper. Well, this is the tale of the hard-working ant who collects and stores up food during the summer only to be laughed at by the grasshopper who dances and plays the summer away. And come winter, while the ant remains well-fed and warm, the grasshopper perished from hunger during the winter. So the moral of this story is to always be prepared for a rainy day. Now, achieving financial well-being means having the ability to control one's finances, having the ability to absorb a financial shock, and the financial freedom to make choices in life. To achieve this, we need to develop skills or to seek advice on how to effectively manage our finances. And another important aspect of achieving financial well-being is to realize that we must plan early for our retirement. With an average life expectancy of 75, we have to ensure that our retirement saving is sufficient to sustain us for at least another 15 years after we stop earning any income. When it comes to retirement planning, it is never too early to start saving and investing. Unfortunately, a recent survey conducted by the SC shows that Malaysians tend to start retirement planning at quite a late stage in life, around the age of 44 years and above. So cognizant of the need for investors to plan early towards achieving financial well-being, the HC has included complimentary financial planning sessions as a permanent agenda in its annual InvestSmart Fest. I would like to encourage all of you to take advantage of the 450 FinPlan for You online session, which has started on Monday, 19th October, and will continue throughout the fest until the 25th of October. I also encourage all of you to join the panel session on Sunday, which will be discussing issues relating to retirement planning. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now move on to the proliferation of scams. In December 2019, the police or the PDRM Commercial Crime Department reported that Malaysians have lost a total of 769 to scammers over the last 3 years. The report also noted that online scams were one of the most rampant among the scams perpetrated. And for the first 6 months of this year alone, Malaysians were reported to have lost a total of 914 million to scammers. In the capital market, SC has also observed an increase in the incidences of scams. Up to end September this year, SC has received 370 queries and complaints on illegal investment schemes compared to 317 for the whole of last year. These scams usually promise extremely high returns with little or no risk. And of late, there has been a rise of clone firm scams, where the fraudster will impersonate a legitimate licensed entity to dupe investors into believing that they are investing with a legitimate entity. Our findings show that the promotion of such scams are commonly carried out via social media channels, with the use of WhatsApp and Facebook being the most prevalent channels. Investors who receive offers of investment opportunities through WhatsApp messaging or Facebook channels should exercise caution. I would like to advise investors to always verify the individual and the entity status with the SC before investing their monies in any investment scheme. The SC believes that the investor's vulnerability to scams may be caused in part by their unrealistic expectation of returns from investment. In our survey earlier this year, it shows that a majority of investors in Malaysia have an unrealistic expectation of 24% to 30% returns per annum on their investment. So please remember, if the investment proposal is too good to be true, then it probably is. Today, investors' vulnerability is also compounded by their search for yield in this low interest rate environment. And given the rapid increase of illegal investment scams, the SC has recently established an internal task force to focus on investigating and taking enforcement action against the perpetrators. So we urge investors to also play their part by coming forward to provide information to the SC if they have been approached by any person offering these schemes. To accelerate and broaden our anti-scams effort, I'm pleased to announce the release of InvestSmart's new anti-scam awareness video, which we will air after my address this morning, and throughout the 3-day event. In closing, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude for the support of our event partners, namely Bursa Malaysia Berhad, FPAM, MFPC, esteemed speakers, and 35 other exhibitors for participating in the InvestSmart Fest 2020. So do participate in the sessions we have lined up for you and take this opportunity to engage with the financial planners and exhibitors during your visit. Sentiasa ingat, silap labur, duit lebur.